Our next stop, Prince Edward Island. We will be meeting Justin and Adam. Just a few months after the grand opening, they were hit by Hurricane Fiona. You'll see how strong these two entrepreneurs were, facing the huge catastrophe while being in a brand new startup. Adam, Justin, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here in beautiful Prince Edward Island. It is my first time, so I'm very, very excited. I would like to know, how do we get over a big catastrophe like Hurricane Fiona? What was your intervention strategy to ensure the best possible service?
Yeah, so what a lot of people don't realize is that the first 2 to 3 weeks of Hurricane Fiona, after the hurricane, we did not have power and PEI for most of the island, even in the city. That meant phones weren't working for a couple days. There's no internet. Our strategy was to, before the hurricane, we obviously saw the storm coming, and Justin sent some of our employees over to Halifax to load up a pickup truck full of equipment. We ramped up our fleet of equipment, and then we focused on bringing on temporary workers from the mainland, Ontario and Quebec. I think we had about 20 people or so come over. We rented Airbnbs. We rented, I don't know, a dozen hotel rooms. So our main strategy was, let's just ramp up our resources as much as we can and deal with the consequences later on, I guess.
We also reached out to the franchisor, who reached out to all the franchisees, and we did get some support from other offices, which was nice to see. Some people came in that had a lot of experience. They could help mainstream some of the jobs we could turn over. Head office also mobilized into a hotel room at that time and helped organize our files, contacting customers, right down to contacting providers and trying to help mainstream all that, which was a nice help. So we thank everyone for that.
And this was, we're a new company. When Hurricane Fiona hit, we were 11 months in business. And I think we had 3 trucks, 6 staff, including office staff. So we were just in the infant stage of the business. And today we now have 25 staff. We have 7 trucks. I think we've quadrupled the size of our equipment fleet. So, we are in a position today where now we are a real restoration business. Our team is top notch, and they put in 12, 14-hour days. There's obviously no vacation, no time off, no sick days. Nobody complained.
We'd have barbecues at the shop in the evenings, kind of collaborate and go over any problems, try to rectify the small issues, the larger issues, and then disperse the teams, get them motivated for the next day ahead. Because during the CAT, there was a lot of long days and a lot of unthankful days. So when we were able to sit down and kind of reflect on the situation, everyone kind of had everyone's back, and it was very nice to see.
So being a startup, what were your biggest challenges?
The biggest challenge we had was with that growth that fast, we simply did not have the equipment, the systems in place, organization. Obviously, we did not have the staff. We had to bring in temporary workers and ramp up our hiring. We did not have the resources that a 5, 10, 20-year-old restoration business had, but we were doing the volume that our big competitors were doing with the little that we had. You have to stretch everything to work a little bit harder, and again, going back to our staff, and they definitely went the extra mile to make sure that we got through.
So to this day, what's your biggest pride?
I guess the biggest pride for me would be the growth that the business has came to, and be looking back, being like, we support so many people, and we're able to help all these customers throughout PEI And the positive feedback that we have got from our customers and clients have been very, very overwhelming. So it's nice to see that. I always push that along to our employees as well. It's a whole team. A lot of times I get the recognition, but it's not. Without my team, then I can't do my job. So I'm really proud of the team we have built here in Steamatic PEI. Come on in, Nancy. This is a job that Steamatic PEI has started the process on, and we're just going to do a quick walkthrough and show you what takes place day in and day out here at Steamatic PEI.
So what happened here?
So what happened here, this was a property that was damaged by Hurricane Fiona, and we got the call on it late, probably 6 months after the hurricane has rolled through. So unfortunately there was quite a bit of damage at that time when we arrived. So we came, we assessed the situation, we reported back to the insurance provider at that time on what damages occurred here, and we dispersed our teams to come in and perform the emergency services. Okay, Nancy, if you want to follow me upstairs, we can see where the water entered. So Nancy, if you look here, you'll see the areas of separation there where the blue tarp is peeking through, and that is where the water entered the property and came into the second floor down to the main floor. And after numerous weather events, the tarps didn't hold from the previous contractor, so we had to step in and re-tarp the roof until the roof could be fixed properly. So when we arrived on the property, we assessed the property from the outside to try to gain the knowledge of what damages would be inside. And when we showed up, this was how that we found the tarp. Unfortunately, there are some areas where the tarp has blown off and more water is infiltrating the property. But we're working hard to make sure that we can get this roof tight early next week.
So the reason why the roof is still not fixed to this day, it's because the homeowner took a cash settlement for this portion of the job.
Yes, that is correct. So the owner took a cash out, had another contractor hired to do the roof. Unfortunately, the contractor hasn't been able to do the roof, so he has moved on and hired Steamatic PEI to perform the services.
So we joined a franchise in the first place as first time, relatively young entrepreneurs in our late 20s starting this business to have access to the resources that a national network has. So we've been fortunate to be able to communicate with head office about how we can improve, and one thing that's been on top of mind since Hurricane Fiona was putting together some sort of organized CAT team. Whether that meant it was just a team that all they did was travel around the country to help franchisees with major losses, or if there was some type of coordination between franchisees, and if there was a major event in another city or another province, that we would get together and help each other out.
So what's next for Steamatic PEI?
At Steamatic PEI, we try to make everyone here feel like family. We try to have almost a culture where everyone helps everyone. So if someone isn't as skilled as someone may be, well, there's some guys that are very well in showing them the ropes and trying to teach them. I always look back on it and say, well, someone had to show you how to do it, so now it's your turn to show someone else how to do it. So I feel once you create that atmosphere, and it's a positive workplace to come to, then it just goes, we just get so many people in the door that are looking for a new opportunity and looking to come to an exciting brand, and we offer that here.
One thing we talked about was how big is the company going to be from an employee perspective? Not just sales and equipment and stuff like that, but how many staff are we going to employ? We're at 25 today. We would like to continue growing, and maybe the next threshold is 30, 35 employees. So we do plan on building our own facility so that we would have our own larger space to operate out of, but also some storage units. We would like to do our contents in-house and have those on-site rather than renting off-site storage units. And then obviously growing our fleet of vehicles, which in turn, more people see your brand, more people see the trucks driving around. We want to continue growing, and if there's anybody in the industry that's looking for a new opportunity, we're always interested in talking to people.